Hello, everybody, and welcome back, albeit possibly very briefly, to 7 days. It's been a bad weekend, ladies and gents. I think we are dead in the water. I've done everything I can to resolve the dropped frames issue, and it is not resolved. In fact, I'd go so far as to say it is now untenable. It's almost clockwork. Every 5 minutes we just lose connection. We literally just lose connection to Twitch. It's actually got worse and worse over the weekend. In fact, I started testing properly on Friday, like really hardcore, like constantly keeping a connection to Twitch. So I've been doing it on and off for 6-7 hours a day, obviously while we're streaming, which has been, you know, good info. But I just ran it just constantly. Haven't slept, haven't done anything all weekend, and I can't fix it, guys. There is just no fix. It's we basically can't stream until Twitch do something. So I'm kind of here today just to just watch millions of drop frames, basically. Good morning, Starscream. Good morning, Emperor. Good morning, Calgar. Good morning, Nomi. Good morning, Chaos. Good morning, Webster. Good morning, Mickey. Good morning, Yessie. Good morning, Stu. Good morning, Garu. How are you all doing? You got here when I saw the stream starting. We found a friend who had to get a new router for his internet, and that yeah, it's nothing to do with the router. Yeah, it's this is. I've even quite amusingly, I've even travelled around the country a little bit this weekend, testing my rig on other people's connections, and it just depends. It just depends. It's clearly not the rig. In fact, I've done a complete Windows install. You've got no idea how disastrous that was. I had to redo everything in OBS, everything. For some reason, the backup that we took, or that I took, wow, check that out, that's really pretty. Yeah, the backup that I took for my OBS profiles and scenes, wow, that did not transfer over. The reason for it is because back when I switched from, what was it called, OBS Classic. Oh, is this a new mine? We must be in a brand new mine. Got no repair kits. Yeah, so I switched from Classic to Studio quite some time ago, and one of the things that had stopped me from switching to OBS Studio was that I didn't want to redo everything. The amount of scenes and sources that we run on this channel, you know, with all the little pop-ups we've had over the years, and of course, so sometimes it took weeks to code some of those in because of bloody deep bots. So I was always like really reluctant to get rid of any of it, just in case I needed it in the future. And I used this really cool program that essentially migrated all of my sort of scenes and sources and everything over to OBS Studio. Yeah, there's the first batch of drop frames there. Look. And I think what happened, somehow that legacy system caused it all to go wrong. So of course I've booted up OBS for the first time with a fresh Windows install. Gone, okay, it's okay, we've got all the backups sort of files, we'll just plug them back in and we'll be back where we were. No, we weren't. I lost everything. I hadn't got a single scene and a single source. I had to rebuild everything. To anyone that started streaming, all right, just forget it. Just forget bots. Don't worry about the bots, just enjoy the streaming part of it. All you need is a scene and maybe a button somewhere that you can mute in and out, and that's it. Oh god, it was a ball ache. I think I'm still running with something like 26 sources, and that's me having stripped everything down. Oh, it's unbelievable. And then to make that even worse, because everything essentially was reconfigured, that meant the Stream Deck wasn't compatible anymore either. So I had to rebuild everything on the Stream Deck. And you know when you rebuild something and you've not got it as good as you did originally, you just feel like completely pissed about it. I'm sitting here now looking at my Stream Deck and it just looks shit compared to how I used to have it. Oh god, it's been a nightmare. It's been an absolute nightmare. Co finished his stream slightly early the other day due to drop frames. I don't blame him, Cad West. Honestly, I know it's really awkward, and I know it's. Honestly, I could break down in tears, mate. But I think that's 72 hours with no fucking sleep, mate. it's not enjoyable. It's not enjoyable because I know you can't enjoy it, and if you can't enjoy it, that kills the fun for me. I know, honestly, I get it, guys and girls, I get it. I know if you drop frames here and there, it might not be the end of the world to you, but for folks that do take this seriously, and you know I do. I mean, you know, I often sit here and say, oh, you know, we do it for fun and all the rest of it, and that is why we do it. We do it because it's bloody good fun. But the thing is, I've also taken, ever since the second I started streaming, I've taken just... It's like anything I do, I like to do it well. You know, I can't be a good streamer. I'm never going to be a good streamer. But what I can do is I can make the stream quality better. That's something I can work on, you know. I can work hard. I can save pennies. I can get a better processor. You know, I can learn about audio and OBS and, you know, tips and tricks. And, you know, there's 1,001 things I can do to make the stream better. At a technical level, and when something is taken away from you for that, and nothing that you can do yourself, or when it's literally snatched away from you, I just don't know what to say. You know, this is it's degradation of performance. I can't say too much on here, but I've even. Oh, let's just say I've got a friend who has streamed elsewhere and it went really, really well. You know, I literally, I've done everything. Let me go through it. So I stripped, I literally turned the entire house off. The whole house just went down. Everything was turned off. I put the router in modem mode. I've tried other routers. I've tried modems with routers. I've tried 6 different Ethernet cables. Obviously tested them all. Everything was fine, so I didn't think it was going to be that. You know, obviously spoken to Virgin Media at length. Clearly no issues there. Although actually, having said that, I have got a Virgin Media tech coming round today. It's actually weirdly nothing to do with this. I have got a slight power issue on the line. It doesn't affect the drop frames. It's one of those things. It's just me being finicky because I kind of know a little bit about this, and we've got an engineer who's going to come round. He'll probably be here for about 2 minutes, do what he needs to do, and then he'll go on his way. But that's not going to fix the drop frame issue. So that's kind of where we are. You know, I've even done a complete Windows install, completely wiped everything, gone the whole lot. Like I said, caused me considerable duress. I couldn't believe it when I put it up OBS. I thought, oh my god, I've lost like 3 years worth of work. It's just gone. So that was, when was that? That was the early hours of Saturday morning. I thought I'll just do a quick Windows reinstall. You know, it'd probably take me 2-3 hours. And I waited for it to do its magic before I thought, I'll go to sleep once it's all done, just check everything's all right, and then we can carry on testing on Sunday morning. But it did its work. I don't know what time it was Saturday morning, you know, 5 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And I booted it up. Thought, oh yeah, okay, let's just check OBS. And I thought, oh my god, no, it's all gone. I couldn't believe it, honestly. You should have seen the despair. I was so tired. I couldn't even be angry about it. Thank you for the bit, Mojo. Thank you for the bit. Sierra, it's well, no, we're not back at all, Mojo. You alright, Socks? How you doing, mate? I tried Kelgar. I mean, if you're telling me people like Code Carnage are quitting their streams early due to drop frames, then, you know.
I just noticed that it's been 3 years.
Drop frames now
I'm
as well.
staying even if the frame rate is shite.
It's not frame rate. We need to be really careful about this. It's not frame rate, okay? Thank you, Daxos. Thank you for the 3 years, bro. This isn't about frame rate, okay? This is not the game. This is Twitch. Thank you, Daxos. Thank you for the 3, my friend. 36 glorious months, bro. Don't look like we're making it to 48. Thanks, Daxos. Thank you very much, bro. How are you, man? How's things your end, dude? I can't even be asked to play the fucking game today. So yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? You've had similar issues with your connection. That was before I got for years. It's nothing to do with that, Emper. Yeah. You're right, Jan. How you doing? Who have I missed today? So good morning, Mojo. We know Mojo's here. Epic's here. Good morning, Epic. Yeah. Have I turned it on and off again? Believe it or not, we have a lot, yeah. Code Carnage was playing with Star Wars sorry, Code Carnage was playing the new Star Wars game, and as already said, it was so bad that he stopped his stream. It was Twitch, according to him. It is Twitch. We know it's Twitch. Like I've even, like I said, I have even, you know, just to make sure we're not talking out our ass, I have even travelled around the UK this weekend testing my computer on some friends' connections, and it doesn't matter what I stream on, whether it be a BT line, a BT business line, a Virgin Media Gaming, or Virgin Media. I've even tried streaming at like 2,500 kilobits per second on, you know, like a little 5 meg upload line. Doesn't make any difference. It's just the same all the time. Yeah, that's nice, isn't it, Gary? Yeah, well, you'll have to strike us off the list, I'm afraid. What is this? Well, if it was pre-recorded, then you wouldn't have any drop frames. Oh, no, actually, no, you would have drop frames. No, you'd still have drop frames, wouldn't you? If you can watch the stream in 180p. I've been there and done that. Weirdly enough, Gary Lady, on my phone, it isn't as bad as it sounds, actually. Yeah. Yeah, not thank you so much, Daxos. Seriously, thank you for the 36, dude. That is... Oh, mate. First time ever I've kind of felt like... I just don't know anymore. Just do not know, mate. Did Ko manage to get everything all sorted in the end? I mean, is he... I'm going to assume he's not the sort of guy that's going to put up with that sort of shit. See, that's interesting as well, because that means it's the... Because we did notice, didn't we? One of the things that I was saying was that, weirdly enough, it would have made more sense for me to start streaming via the Twitch US servers. I actually had a more stable connection with them than I did with, if you like, the European ingest servers. And typically for me, it's like Marseille, Paris, Amsterdam, London. They tend to be the really good ones for us folks in the UK. And they're all over the place. They are literally all over the place. It's not just up and down. It's like perfect signal 1 minute and literally disconnecting constantly the second minute. It's so if you're saying people of that caliber who, you know, let's be honest, know their shit, then yeah, that tells me everything I need to know. This is not getting resolved anytime soon, is it? Absolutely crazy, mate. Absolutely crazy. Stick Call of Duty on. Oh, there's no way I'm playing a game of that quality with a shitty connection like this, mate. I want to enjoy it, mate. I want to sit back and enjoy it. Nothing to do with the game. I'd love to play anything right now, but not with this kind of Twitch interruption. Make some land. I'm just going to drop down here and do a bit more mining because we're going to need this anyway. I think this is the brand new nitrate mine. I don't believe that is shading, chat. I don't know why people slate Mixer. I think people slate Mixer because they don't know what they're talking about. There's no reason to hate on another streaming service, is there? Especially one that actually offers us, let's be honest, it offers us a higher bit rate, doesn't it? It's it is actually my only option, or it will be. So we'll just, I don't know, to take a week's vacation or something and see what happens. I don't know yet. All I know is mentally, I'm just not in a place for having these kind of constant technical issues. It's it ain't good for me. As this weekend has told, you know, it's just you only discovered you during the Alpha 18 streamer weekend. You're right, Sticky. You are a quality streamer. I hope you find a workaround. Thank you. I wish, mate, I've tried everything, honestly. I've tried everything. You know, at one point, I kid you not, this is how much I was seriously fucking... I had to sell the car not so long back, and we got some issues. I had another major issue in the house over at the weekend as well. And I actually thought about just building a whole new rig. That's how mentally distressed I was, because it makes no sense. I was just literally clutching at straws. It's like, what are you talking about? Building a new rig? It's got nothing to do with the rig. You know it isn't. So that's when I thought, I literally stripped it all down, opened it all up, cleaned it all out, wiped everything, complete fresh Windows install, nothing left. And thought, you know, that would be the same, wouldn't it? You know, that's got to be the same. I tried a different motherboard just to make sure it wasn't obviously the connection issues weren't anything to do with that. Tried streaming from a variety of different PCs just with OBS loaded up, still the same thing. It's you know, it's not Wi-Fi related, it's not Ethernet cable related, it's not driver related, it's not hardware related. We just cannot punch through to that ingest server. You're right, stealth. People slag mix because they don't want change. Well, there is a part of that, mate. I absolutely agree with you. There is definitely an element of that. I mean, I don't want to change. You know, I like what I like, you know, and Twitch has always been pretty freaking awesome. But when it gets to the point, it doesn't matter if, you know, there's you know, you don't like the format, or you don't like the font, or you don't like the color, or you don't like, you know, little things, or you don't like the dashboard. I mean, that all kind of makes sense, right? But, oh, hang on one sec. Actually, let me just test something. Yeah, I'll be back in a sec. One sec. Sorry about that. I just had to sort my batteries out on the Steam controller. So I think poor thing's been running for the last few days, just sitting there, even though it hasn't actually. Oh my god, I just realised how hungry I am. Holy shit. Oh, that really hurts. Fuck me. Oh, Jesus, that is a hunger pang like I've... Oh my god. Oh, Jesus.
Good morning, Nogga.
I never realised how big your name was down there, Bob. Has it always been that big? Oh, thank you very much for the bits, bro. How are you, Bob? How is everything, mate? I know your mom's really poorly, isn't she, fella? To say the very least. I have been thinking about you, mate. How are you? Thank you for the bits, bro. Thank you for the bits. People say mix because someone already had their username. I don't think we can fix that, you know, Mojo. I actually don't think we can fix that. So that's kind of... I know Big K reckons he can, but I've sort of tentatively tried it. It doesn't seem to like it. So that's kind of mix of dead for me. Because obviously the branding and everything. So that's basically that fucked as well. Otherwise it would have been an easy decision, Mojo, to be honest. Talking about that, you don't like the colour. The Discord light mode is a hell. It's the, you know, it's weird stuff because that's actually the only game that I. Oh, wait, actually, hang on. One thing has changed, right? As a result of all this, I am actually am now using OBS in dark mode. First time ever I've used OBS in dark mode. Oh yeah, it's all right actually. It's all right. I don't know why I like it. It's because I've changed everything, I suppose. So. But yeah, so it's the very first time ever. It's kind of weird as well because it makes that side of the room quite dull, whereas normally it's quite bright. So, and I think that's the reason for it as well. It's because I've been up at God knows what hours. I didn't like that glaring light. You know, 3 o'clock in the morning when it's pitch black and everything's quiet. I just did not want that glaring white light. So. I guess that's actually, now I think about it, that's probably why I've chosen, because of course it is actually quite pale over there. I'll have to try chatty in dark mode as well, you never know. It could be a revolution for Grum here. Thank you for the bits, Bob. Thank you. Good morning, Alison. Good morning, Honeybee. I like Mix so we can support streamers even more with Spark. I don't know anything about that, mate. I know nothing about Mixer. Other than the fact it looks very Microsofty. It's got a real kind of vibe of, like, you know, the Windows 10 store style, so sort of shapes, colours, fonts. It reminds me quite a lot of almost, well, whenever I turn on my Xbox One. You can sort of see, it's certainly done. I mean, it is, you know, it's not like, oh, that's the Windows store, but... or that's the Xbox dashboard, but you can sort of see, in my opinion, you can sort of see where the branding is becoming readily more global with Microsoft. But there's no doubt they're kind of after that, you know, trying to get it all integrated. You know, Windows Is Xbox, is Mixer, you know where I'm going with it. You can definitely feel a consistency there. You watch stream in movie mode, it hurts your eyes not to. Oh, what? Because of the is that when it goes into dark mode, or? Well, it's like I said, Rebster. It's you got to bear in mind. It depends on the route that we're taking. You know, it's not just a case of you know. It's like I said. I could travel to somewhere else in the country and route through to a different ingest server. That's just not the way that the internet works, Rebster. It's like someone's just said, Code Carnage, you know, one of the, if not the biggest streamer on Twitch, you know, as a single streamer consistently. If he's having the same issues in America, then we know there's issues, Rebster. So it's not strange that we have drop frames at all. You got a nice sleeping, did you, Bob? Nice, dude. Nice. You're right, to lawyer. You had a great stream day, as well as lots of job opportunities. Oh, did you stream tonight? I didn't know you were streaming, dude. I talked with a friend that worked with Keeping Connections working in the US yesterday. He said it was strange that there was no more reporting on this. He was checking down detector in similar places and almost no reports. Again, it doesn't. Again, this is where. I think this is where people ain't getting it, Shades. The servers aren't down. There's nothing actually the matter apart from doing massive sustained ping. Essentially, it's I don't know how to explain it really. I'm just so tired. You're not gonna see anything on down detector because they're not actually down. It's just that they stop receiving packets periodically. And like we said, you can actually go 6 hours without a single issue and then suddenly have an hour where it absolutely hammers you. It's nothing. It's not the kind of thing you can just test normally. It's one of those things that essentially is invisible until you actually start running diagnostic software that is showing you what happens to your actual outbound connection. You know, you can constantly ring tracer pings through to certain ingest servers and everything will be fine. You know, the packets are hitting, everything's getting through. There's just nothing wrong with that loop essentially. And then boom, it's like they just closed the gate. That's what I'm saying. You know, it could affect, I could be fine. You know, tomorrow everything could be fine for a week. Everything could go back to normal. And there's some other poor bastards going to have the same issue. I think they're just overwhelmed, and I think it just depends on how you're routing through to them. It's I literally over the weekend. So if we take a 72-hour snapshot, so let's say probably more like 50-hour snapshot, I would say for about 20 to 25% of that 50 hours, things have been flawless. So unless you're literally sitting there like I've just done with a setup that is constantly streaming 6,000 kilobits per second, non-stop, dead to a Twitch ingest server, you're not necessarily going to spot that there's a problem. You know, if you only stream for like 3 or 4 hours a day, and that 3 to 4 hours just happens to be a period where everything's going okay, you're going to be fine. But for someone that streams 7 days a week for a standard 7-hour slot, as we know, mornings tend to be a little bit fidgety. Later in the afternoons tends to be all right. Early evenings when Twitch starts waking up again, those ingest servers, they're just fucked. Just me and Co. Or Co and I, should I say. Yeah. No, it makes no difference, Rebster. No. In fact, weirdly enough, it depends. I mean, it depends. I mean, see, one of the other things, and this is a really interesting one. We were speaking to a friend that was involved in the small group with testing. There is, and this really throws a spanner in the works. And again, this is why it's so hard, unless you've really done the research yourself. It's like, you know, you go on a forum and you ask questions, and you know, people are saying, "Oh, turn it on and off again," or "Have you done this?" You think, "Fucking Jesus Christ! Of course I've done all that." But there is a new setting in OBS, and I do believe it's in beta, but essentially a lot of people are using it because I have a horrible feeling it doesn't come on by default. but it sounds like a really nice option. And this is really going to throw a spanner in the testing if you're looking at other streams. Essentially what it does is there is a setting within OBS. Let's say you stream at 3000 kilobits per second. And let's say you start getting some drop frames. And this is non-encoder drop frames. This is essentially due to an issue with bitrate, okay? So, for example, let's say that the ingest servers can't quite take that 3000. They can only take 1000. Just for a split second. What OBS does is OBS becomes aware of that, and it actually essentially lowers your own outbound bitrate so that it can get through, which results in no drop frames. Okay, does that make sense? So OBS goes, okay, imagine a pipe. So you've got, I don't know, let's say a 3-inch pipe, and that's your 3000 kilobits per second, and that's hitting that ingest server. Let's just say for some reason that ingest server decides to shrink its pipe, its access pipe down to say 2 inches. So it now is only going to be able to accept 2000 kilobits per second. That means you've got 1000 kilobits per second that are just dead, and that reflects in drop frames. So in OBS there's a setting that literally enables you to go, okay, we've got an issue, let's drop our bitrate to 2000 kilobits per second, and then all our data is going to go through. Sounds brilliant, right? So that person's getting no drop frames. But this was only introduced not that long ago, so already you've now got this huge issue that X percentage of people that are using OBS aren't going to see this issue at all, because it's not going to result in any drop frames. What you are going to see is a change when that happens. If you drop from 3000 down to 2000 kilobits per second, you're going to notice a difference. Your quality is going to change. I mean, you might not notice it, unless you're sitting there watching it like a movie. Let's be honest, how many people watch on a mobile phone, semi in the background? You're not going to notice this little shift for a few seconds as the quality of the stream just degrades and then magically comes back. It's not buffering. There's no audio change. Nothing happens. Just nothing happens. You just get, that slightly lower quality. Now you can imagine you start playing about with 6,000 and 7,000 kilobits per second, dropping down to 1,000 kilobits per second. Holy shit, you're going to notice that. So it's not a workaround. It's not a workaround for people that are streaming at higher bit rates. In fact, it's going to be awful. So there's another thing. It's intermittent. You've got people using different elements of OBS. You've got people using different ingest servers. Then to make that even worse, you've then got people on different outbound servers. For example, we tested this with 2 different people watching, okay? During a drop, this is the thing that throws. This is the thing that we cannot understand. In more drop frames, then we cannot get our heads around this, and I certainly am not technically aware enough to understand it. We stream to a channel on Twitch. We have 2 people elsewhere watching that stream. When the packet loss happens at the streamer's end, in other words, when we know we're getting blocked, okay? We're literally on Skype talking to these 2 other people, yeah? Did you notice any impact? Holy shit, yeah. Slideshow, locked up. Audio was fine. Took about 4 seconds, 5 seconds, and then it carried on as normal. Other person, no, everything was fine. Everything was fine. Not so much as a stutter, carried on as normal. How the hell is that happening? How can that happen? That means somehow it is getting through, but it's not getting out, even though I'm being told it's not getting through anyway. You just see why this is just like completely unfathomable. A whole weekend spent trying to troubleshoot this. I don't understand it. Oh, that ain't active from the get-go. That should never be active, Commander, yeah. You don't want to be using that. You don't want to be using that. Nah, will make no difference, Webster. I see you used your grumzoms, Jan. What to say in OBS? Hang on, I'll have a look. Let me mute out because I'll have to move around because all my gear's all over the place. One sec, guy. Right, so this is one of the reasons that some people that are so used to Studio won't be seeing it, guy. If you go into settings, so file settings, go down to advanced, if you're an old user of OBS, you know that you never needed to really scroll down on that particular screen. Depends on your monitor size, but the way I have it set up, I never spotted it because I actually have to scroll down because I have that quite a small window. So if you go to File, Settings, Advanced, and go down to Network, and there's one, it's called Beta, it's called Dynamically Change Bitrate to Manage Congestion. It's almost like OBS knew there was going to be a fucking problem. We had a right old chinwag about this, like some sort of weird conspiracy theory. Let me just go back and sort this out. Right, so I'm having to move around because, like I said, all my gear's all over the place for testing purposes. So. Yeah, I can't remember which version of OBS that was added in because obviously I haven't been using OBS, the latest version. In fact, I only upgraded to the latest version of OBS fairly recent because I know you were saying that people were having issues, weren't you, Guy? Or someone was. Apparently, the latest version of OBS, a lot of people were getting dropped frames for no reason. But it's weirdly enough, it's not that. I think people are reporting that because there is a wider issue. Because I was using an OBS version that was 12 months old. I just refused to update. I had no reason to update. It was flawless. I didn't have a drop frame for nearly 18 months, mate. I could get like 1,000 drop frames just listening to the intro music. It's the same. I didn't even know it was there, Guy. I had no idea, mate. It's only because I was testing and I ended up with it on a different monitor. So obviously it was rescaled. So I thought, well, that's interesting. That's a whole bunch of settings I hadn't spotted down there. I'd heard about it. I had heard that there was this beta thing going on, but I kind of hadn't really looked into it. I had no need for it. So, but yeah, there's quite a few settings down there actually. You got a guy you watch in Australia. He gets the same issues. He streams morning time in the UK. Yeah. And you know, a more validation that this isn't, you know, an ISP issue. It's not hardware. It's not driver related. It's not firmware related. It's not ISP related. This is literally just. I don't know what it is, mate. Like I said, you know, there's a problem if your friend streams to a completely different service at a higher bit rate with the same hardware, the same connection, and has no issues. I mean, that's the final test, right? That tells you that there's something wrong at Twitch's end, doesn't it? You know, the fact you've just come in here and said that Code Carnage has had to cancel the stream or cut a stream early due to drop frames. I mean, it's all. I mean, I don't wish it on anyone, but it's almost music to my ears because, you know, hopefully as a result of that, some awareness will start being. You know, I'm just getting nothing. I'm getting no response from anyone. The problem is it's so erratic. It is so erratic. Like I said, you can go 6 hours. I mean, I ran a test for like 8 hours, right, using a 9,000 kilobit per second bit rate. I was actually deliberately trying to push it to see if we could force it to fail. That was an 8-hour stream. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Not a single drop frame. That's at 9,000 kilobits per second. That's 3,000 above what Twitch, in theory, want you to use. So it's not, you know, it's not that, right? I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe we got away with it for 8 hours, to be honest. I mean, it was in the middle of the night sort of thing, but then again, middle of the night is prime time for, you know, US, isn't it? You're right, Dale. How you doing? Thank you for the bits, Bob. Thank you for the bits, fella. You managed to get a little bit of shut-eye, have you? You can't replicate it yourself, guy. Well, good, mate. Good. This is the problem. Like I said, 8 hours, mate. 8 hours at a ridiculous bit rate. Nothing. And to be honest, mate, you know what was really frustrating about that as well? I'd actually just switched over to what was it? A Cat 6 cable. I had a Cat 6 cable that was lying around. I'd be using a Cat 5 up till that point. And I thought, you know what? I'll just double check the cable. You know, I've already tried 2 others. You know, and I basically unplugged from like my Xbox to the stream. We just switched them over, you know, just in case, you know, You never know. Bang of the desk, I might have crimped it or something. And I thought, I've got this spare cable, so I'll just put in a brand new cable. I did some speed tests on it. Everything looked really good. Popped it in. Thought, let's whack this through then. You know, we've got a gig connection on that. Let's whack it through. Can you imagine, guy? Can you imagine what I was thinking? 8 hours at 9,000 kilobits. Not a single drop frame. I thought, oh my god, it was my bloody cable, mate. It was my bloody cable. I must have 2 faulty cables. Because obviously I'd tested them both having the same issue. And I thought, oh my god, it's amazing. So what did I do? I was like whooping and a hollering, thinking we finally nailed it. So I took out the old cable, you know, because I've run it all around the back of the desk. Took that out, thinking, yeah, let's put that in the bin. We definitely don't want that lying around. Tucked in the new one. You know, good 45 minutes spent getting all the cable management done. Okay, let's just do one more test stream now. Let's start setting up a few things, because obviously OBS was dead. All my sources and things had all died. So I need to start setting all that back up. Literally, within 45 minutes, same issue, guy. So you see what I'm saying about the testing? There is no testing this unless you test it for extended periods of time. Oh, I was close. Honestly, I'm not even kidding, mate. I was close to tears, bro. I couldn't believe it. I just could not believe it, mate. I really could not believe it, dude. It was just like one of those. Just what the hell, bro? I actually, you know, tried all sorts, mate. You're right, Schlegend. Maybe if you cuddle up at the higher ups of Twitch, sent some needs through a cat or something, I'd be more inclined to help you. See, I don't. They can't help me. This isn't something that they can help me with. You know, I've tried it. You know, all the silly things that you do just out of. I've tried everything, so let's not bottom out yet. I tried changing my stream key. You know, I tried streaming on a completely different account. Here on Twitch, you know, my secret stream account. Nothing, dude. Still, ultimately, within a 48-hour period, I can guarantee I can repeat the issue. I can't repeat it deliberately. I can't force repeat it, but I cannot keep a stable connection for 48 hours. And to be honest, that's now down to about 12 hours, if I was to be honest with you. I don't think I've been able to get a full 12-hour test without seeing the issue crop up. So, I just don't know. All we got to do is just hope somewhere magically something gets fixed, but it's been getting worse and worse and worse. But it seems to have bottomed out this weekend, so whether or not that means maybe there's a fix coming in the works, who knows? Who knows? You'll be seeing some drop frames just teetering around there. Just gonna get this nitrate and then we'll head back, get some zombie slaying on. But yeah, it's that's it, mate. Who knows where we go from there? Like I said, I don't know about that mixer now. I know Big Co's kind enough to send some info through, but don't seem to be an option. So, and obviously I don't want to do that. I really don't want to go elsewhere. But I suppose if it meant temporarily. I do need to get in touch with Twitch and ask them where I stand with it, because obviously if the service isn't functioning for me, what options have I got, you know? Yeah, who knows, Thomas? Who knows? Well, I know what's happening with them. Everything's getting encoded flawlessly, as always. It's getting spat out across the internet. It goes flying through London. And everything looks great, and then for some reason Twitch gets those lovely packets and says, yeah, let's fling a few of them out. Yeah, get rid of that one. I've tried, I mean, I was saying earlier, I tried a sustained stream at about 3,000 kilobits per second, and I thought, well, let's just try dropping that down to, and I think I tried 1,000 just for a laugh, but I don't think I even actually ran any data checks on that. So about 1,500 was as low as I went. And it was the same, even with 1,500 kilobits per second throughput, the same thing was repeatable. And yet, like I say, for an 8-hour run, I could stream at 9,000 kilobits per second, which I thought was going to be an auto fail. I thought there's no way the ingest server was going to accept that kind of data. 8 hours. 8 hours you sat there. Yeah, give me everything. I was like, yeah. We finally nailed it. It's an Ethernet cable issue. Oh, no, it wasn't. Yeah. When is it Horde night? I don't know. I'm going to wait for it to go red, Bob. You finally managed to catch up with all the streams I've not been able to watch. I know, that was bad, wasn't it? I couldn't believe that, mate. I didn't know what decision to make. Honestly, I thought about racing up, getting the racing back down the corridor, getting the M60 and trying to sort of hold it with the basic smitten wall that we had. And I thought, probably not a good idea. You know, it's a rash decision. And that thing's never been tested. You know, it's still only cobblestone. That's a big horde coming in. And I thought, yeah, you know, if they breach, they're going to fall down through the main shaft. So I kind of bottled it, really. I'm so glad I did Shades. That could have been catastrophic. It really could have been, but, yeah. So what's been on the old gaming news then? I've had very little time to really actually delve into anything. I've drop that down. Are you still Alpha 18 it, Mojo? Or have you been hitting up the old Call of Duty, dude? I thought about trying to get in touch with you and Chaos at one point on Sunday, sort of early Sunday evening, see if you fancied a bit of Call of Duty. I thought, well, seeing as I can't stream it, I don't mind trying a bit of PvP action, but unfortunately, I had to travel to Birmingham because my dad was a little bit sickly as well. So on top of everything else, he's all right. He just actually was a little bit sick. I think he, I think he might have eaten a bit of that dodgy chicken from his freezer, to be honest. That 6-year-old chicken. Excuse me. You're right, Yeti. How are you? Rage 2 is... Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Game Pass is amazing, dude. Game Pass is absolutely bloody fantastic. Oh, hello. Oh my gosh, is it night time? Yeah, that's pretty good, isn't it? Pro skills, Grummy. And drop you down there, you in there. Alright, so we got the 10,000, so that's perfect. Let's head home. I tell you what, it's been awful though, guys. I'm not even kidding you. I mean, I kind of sat down with the girlfriend as well, because obviously got a lot of changes coming up. And this could not have happened at a worse time. It really couldn't. And I really have missed the stream, you know, but I couldn't stream because I was so busy trying to troubleshoot it, so it wasn't like an option. Because, you know, I was having to stop, restart almost constantly, you know, for big chunks of the day. Plus, obviously, we've got that separate run going through, which is like a consistent upload. Because I got plenty of, you know, the actual bandwidth pipeline outbound is, I'm running at close to about 49 at the minute. So we had plenty of overhead for getting data out. But yeah, it was horrible. Honestly, it was such a weirdly bleak weekend without the stream, you know? Didn't like it. Yeah, I heard about Path of Exile. Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice little announcement to take a bit of the wind out of Blizzard sales as well with the Diablo 4 announcement. And the thing is, it sounds like Path of Exile 2. I mean, I don't know. I know nothing about what they've said in terms of, you know, potential release date, or are they just confirming it's in the making? I really don't know. Excuse me. What's that guy? What are you doing? The Game Pass or? Oh God. Yeah, you'll get loads, Mickey. You will get loads and loads and loads, mate. Well, like I said, we'll stream today just so at least I can keep in touch with you all and let you know what's going on, but don't know where to go from here, Mickey. Stadia's been delayed, is it really? What? Because it's due like any minute now, isn't it? The Stadia for the early adopters. Or so I mean, is that still going ahead, or is this? Oh, hang on, is my base down here somewhere? Rust is coming, so that'll do all right. That will, won't it? I mean, Rust's okay now, right? Not my cup of tea at all, but it's still got a pretty big following, hasn't it? I played. Oh my gosh! Don't land in the water. I don't think I'm going to pull that off, am I? I don't think I've got quite enough. Oh, that's a shame. It's going to be a rocky landing, mate. A very rocky landing. See if we can get you up and over that. Not sure if we're going to get... Well, we're okay. We're okay. We're okay. Lovely, bloody jubbly. Yeah, I played Rust when it first came out. In fact, probably, if not the day, certainly within a week or so of it having come out, I think. And kind of fell in love with it. I thought it was amazing. Hadn't really seen anything like that at the time. So, oh gosh, oh god, hang on. Sorry, I'm pressing the wrong button to lift my nose up. I silly realised, why am I not bleeding forward speed here? Jesus. Go back around. Pressing the wrong down button. It's weird, isn't it? I've only been away from the game like for a couple of days and already forgotten the basics. So about a year for Path of Exile 2, going to be released before Diablo 4. Fantastic. Fantastic. So that's good, because it means Path of Exile, you know, it's free to play, so everyone's going to get a good chance to play about with it. You know, well, at least I think it's going to be free to play, unless you tell me they've changed that. But, you know, maybe they'll do something that Blizzard hasn't, you know, thought of or thinks they can do better, and maybe... I can very easily believe Diablo 4 getting delayed if Path of Exile 2 is looking particularly sexy. And maybe we'll actually get a, you know, a Diablo 4 that is worthy of our time and money. Rather than just a rinse repeat. I mean, it's already looking good from a visual perspective. And at the end of the day, let's hope they're both good games. I mean, I don't want, you know, I'm not here to... hope one fails and one succeeds. I hope we get two good ARPGs out of the two companies. And of course, one's free to play and one won't be, I wouldn't have thought. So, it kind of opens up options for every gamer, doesn't it? You're right, Critout. I know, the flight simulator looks amazing, Thomas. We were talking about this quite a lot last week. It really does look just amazing, dude. I really can't believe just it's you know what, Thomas, it's almost too good to be true, sir. It's almost too good to be true. It sounds too perfect. All night tonight, is it, guy? Thank you. Oh god, I think I've got a cold because I've not slept. So Stadia was supposed to release this week, or not? I'm not sure what you mean there. I heard that the Star Wars game was doing okay. It seems to have met with some pretty decent and reasonably positive feedback. You know, not the greatest game ever, but certainly, you know, probably one of the best Star Wars games we've had, excuse me, access to in a very long time. I don't know how much truth is in that. Not played it myself, and certainly haven't seen a huge amount of footage other than what I'd already seen. Right. Oh, we've already got quite a lot in there, haven't we? Gunpowder. So, weirdly enough, I actually thought we'd got a lot more. I thought we'd got something like 10,000 coal. Maybe I just got a lot more nitrate than I thought. Doesn't make any difference. Right, let's get all this put away. Where are we? Brass. Some brass can also go in there. Let's take all of that out. That can stay up there. Oh, snowballs we're not allowed to have, so let's ditch those. Feathers we must have. Wow, that's like, whoa, that's a, whoa, dude. That's a lot of feathers, bro. Can we make some more? What do we want? We want iron arrowheads, don't we? Oh my gosh, we don't want that many. 500 will do. 5 minutes on the clock. 10 minutes in there. Let's just take that and that. Well, no, sorry. Cement can come out. Been a bit lazy on cement production, but I guess I've got to the point. I don't feel like I need cement that much in Alpha 18.